Hello, my name is Lane Hughes, and I'm here today to argue the point on whether or not marijuana should be legalized in the United States of America. I'm going to prove to you that there are several positive outcomes for today's society if the substance was legalized. But first off, I want to say that I'm not for the use of marijuana. I'm just strictly a proponent of the legalization because I have thoroughly researched these outcomes and have linked a better and more positive society out of the legalization of marijuana. First off, there's a bunch of money to be saved as well as money made off of the legalization of marijuana. Crime rate would significantly be cut down if the substance was legalized, and another positive outcome is that marijuana has many positive effects in the medical field today. First off, there's a bunch of money to be made off of the substance marijuana. All the government would have to do is legalize it and place a tax on it, exactly how they do tobacco. And the economy would see a big stimulation just off of the tax revenue collected from the selling of marijuana. And as you can see from my visual chart, tobacco alone in 2009 federally grossed over $8.5 billion, and the states cumulatively collected over $15.5 billion. And I'm not saying marijuana would be higher or lower, but there would be a great amount of money grossed off of the tax revenue from the legalization of marijuana. Another reason there would be money made or money saved is there's a bunch of black market out in the streets, and all the money that they're making from the buying and selling of marijuana would be cut out if the substance was legalized. There's also a bunch of money to be saved because law enforcement today is spending God only knows how much money on trying to stop the import of marijuana and try to cut down on it on the streets. And if it was legalized, that would all be obsolete because they could just go and buy it legally. From the economical side, we can switch to the crime rate being significantly lowered. If they didn't have to worry about buying and selling it illegally on the streets and they could just buy it over the counter, then there wouldn't be as much activity out on the streets and negative and arguments and bad situations, and law enforcement wouldn't have to worry about as much crime based off of that drug. It would also allow law enforcement to focus on more hardcore drugs that have many more detrimental effects to the society today, and they could focus on trying to keep them off the streets instead of marijuana. The third positive outcome is marijuana has been proven to be beneficial in the health field in many more than one way. It has been proven that it's probably one of the best painkillers around. It's the best, scientifically proven. It has also been proven to halt some aggressive cancer cells, and if they were allowed to work with it more, there is a possibility that they could link a cure to cancer or some kind of positive research into the cancer field. Cancer patients and HIV patients, AIDS, they have all used marijuana in the recent past for painkillers and stuff like as such. But in conclusion, you can clearly see that there are many positive outcomes if marijuana was legalized. Of course, there's always going to be a select percentage of people that are going to take it and use it the wrong way, but there's that same percentage, or there's the same kind of people who use this alcohol as the same way as, and they have consequences that they face, and you could use the same consequences for people that are using marijuana. But as I finish, I would just like to reiterate that I'm not for the use of marijuana personally, but I am for the legalization just because I have researched these positive outcomes of the legalization and feel like it could benefit society in several different ways. Thank you.